What's up, everyone? Thank you for coming by. It's your girl Rhea, and yeah, we are gonna finish up the first game in the Spyro Reignited trilogy. That's right. So this isn't goodbye forever to Purple Boy. It's just, see you later. Tomorrow, Pokemon Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond drops, so that is going to take up a lot of my streaming time coming up. So yeah, I'm just going to do my best to finish this game for y'all and just sort of find some interesting topics to talk about. I didn't do too much preparation, unfortunately, for the stream, but I do think we'll still have a good time. So yeah, I just want to take a look at the chat and make sure I say hi to everyone. We got Shaolin in the house. Hey, Shaolin. We got Jesse. We got Zodrider. We got Tony. We got Hans. We got Josh. Caden. Daniel Martin. Yeah, all the fellas are in the house. And I'm sure more folks will stop by to say hello. Hopefully. You never know. But either way, I'll be happy to chat it up and, yeah, check in with everyone and see how y'all are doing. Kind of gross. I am chewing gum while I'm talking, so hopefully, like, all the, like, smacking gum noises don't hit the mic. Hopefully there's enough, like, buffer between the mic and, the actual sounds coming out that you don't have to catch all of that grossness. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna finish up Spyro today. Oh, we got Nate in the house. Hey Nate, welcome. Yeah, so right now we're in the final world where we've got about 4 different levels to clear. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive in and let's see. Shaolin says, the Grandmaster of the 36 Chambers of Shaolin salutes you all. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Shaolin. Soups appreciate it. And yeah, okay, cool. And trying to think of some interesting anecdotes or things to share with y'all. Like, this week's been kind of weird in that it's not super eventful, just I am feeling kind of like meh. I don't know. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to give space for folks to also share, if they're feeling meh as well. El Payaso Monko over on Twitch. I see you, bro. You're saying Rhea the chewing with a little winky tongue out face. I see you, you troll. Yeah, no, I'm like smacking into the mic, so pardon me for being just completely, like, disgusting. But yeah, so basically, like, yeah, this week has been kind of meh, like, just, kind of going through the motions of just, like, all the everyday tasks and things like that I need to get through before going on holiday break, because we do get some time off for our upcoming turkey week, and I also have additional time off for my birthday. I'm turning 30 on the 21st, so rip. But yeah, like, I'm just like super not jazzed about a birthday type of vibe, and people are just like, what are you gonna do for your birthday? And I'm just like, bro, like, no. Don't remind me. I just want to play Pokemon and vibe. Like, I'm not really here for all that birthday nonsense. I just never was really big on celebrating my birthday. Hey, Belle, thank you for dropping by. Yeah, Josh, I'm turning 30. It kind of sucks. Like, I mean, it's cool. Like, oh yeah, living to see another day and fulfill your potential in another day to, make an impact on someone's life, all that bullshit, like, people be, like, all about. And I'm just like, no, like, another day of, like, agony. I don't know. I'm just like, I have a really self-deprecating sense of humor, and I laugh at really like dark stuff. So it'll probably be that type of mood tonight. Um, yeah, like real talk, like I kind of had an unexpected call from someone who I don't really talk to right now. Um, and that person called from a blocked number, and I was super caught off guard, super emotionally flustered, and I immediately hung up on them when I recognized their voice. It was like all the like negative feelings I had toward that person came cascading into my brain, and I was just furious that they were trying to basically trick me into talking to them, like totally against any my wishes that I verbalized to them in the past, and that they acknowledged that they would respect my wishes for. And just having my boundaries disrespected and crossed without my consent is just like a big no. Like I mean, it's just like kind of ridiculous how people just well, this person in particular just gave zero f's about, respecting the boundaries that I communicated to them and that they acknowledged previously and agreed to, respect. But whatever, it's not super surprising for them, honestly. So it's like, it just sucks. It's not surprising, but it's still disappointing. Shellen says that dirty 30. Yeah, no, quite dirty indeed. And then Belle says, I wish I was 30. Lol, you're still young, Rhea. I mean, I guess if you say so, Belle. Like, I don't know. I feel like I still have no idea what I'm doing with my life, and it's just, like sand slipping out of my fingers at this point. And it just is sort of like overwhelming to think about, because it's like I said, it's that feeling of like time slipping away from you without the ability to do anything about it, and uncertainty of like how to navigate life while dealing with like, the inescapable like, lack of control you have over the time you have left. So yeah, just all those vibes are like going through my head, and that's kind of why I don't like to celebrate my birthday, because it just reminds me of the lack of control that I have over the passage of time, and the lack of certainty that I have in navigating life, basically. So yeah, like this person trying to call me and get me to talk to them on the phone with a blocked number, I was just like, yeah, no thanks. Like, as soon as I recognized that person. I mean, it's on me though. I should have known not to answer a call that said no caller ID or whatever it said. So like part of me was like, oh, if it's a spam call or if it's like a telemarketer, I'll just tell them to remove me from their list or something. But no, it was this person that I'm just like, I really don't want to talk to you. Like, and you know this. Like, what are you doing? But yeah, so like, that was annoying, and it was like, it kind of really pissed me off, to be honest. It put me in a like bad headspace. So that's kind of why it's at the top of my mind right now. Let's see in the chat. Daniel Martin says, never been into my birthday. Ugh, I feel you. Belle says, hello, Zod Rider. Zod Rider says, oh, wow, those calls are the worst. Daniel Martin, that's kind of messed up, calling from a blocked number. Kaden Reed says, yikes, I had someone from the past text me weird, creepy text. I blocked their ass right away as soon as I figured out who it was. Mood. Belle says, I still feel that way. And Daniel Martin says, Belle, lol. I don't think any of us know what we were doing until we actually do it, if that makes sense. Oh, girl, I feel it. It's like, even when it's just me making decisions for myself and not for, like, others that I care about, it's still overwhelming. but yeah, okay, cool. Everyone's just sort of greeting each other. That's what's up. And then Daniel Martin says, "Real talk, I let every call go to voicemail or screened." Bro, like, I should have done that. And I'm definitely not the type to enjoy talking on the phone. And, like, me talking right now is the result of me practicing talking on streams for the past couple of weeks. So I'm getting more comfortable with it because it's just me talking to myself, basically. But yeah, this whole like no caller ID and then this person calling me expecting me to be super jazzed to talk to them was just not the move. So yeah, that really pissed me off. And yeah, other than that, just like kind of like dialing it in as far as like my responsibilities and stuff like that. I've just been really like going through the motions of like the day in day out monotony of like, okay, work and then errands and then cooking and being on top of like my nutritional goals and cooking for myself and keeping everything clean in the house, being on top of all my like adult errands like bills and doctor's appointments and shopping, all these things that just like they're super important, but they're just very monotonous and like it's kind of like clockwork whenever I have to do them. Like every like every week it's like, okay, clean this, go shopping, like cook this, like food prep that, and yeah, kind of the same thing with work. It's kind of like day in day out, which like I acknowledge that, you know, I'm super privileged and fortunate to be in this position where I have a sustainable routine and I'm relatively comfortable to like come on here and like vibe with y'all and stream and be done and be super content to be in a nice clean house and like, you know, with like temperature controlled, you know, air and like good air quality, fridge full of food, all that stuff. Like, you know, just financially, you know, secure more or less, like all those things I totally acknowledge. I'm like grateful for. It just is like, it just gets kind of boring, you know? So that's kind of like why streaming is sort of like a way for me to find another path to sort of like entertain myself and express myself and get to know more folks, because like also being kind of like alienated from the real world a little bit kind of removed my ability to like have conversations with people on an ongoing basis. So this also helps. And like I love supporting all my friends who talk about their awesome interests and stuff on their streams. Like seeing them happy makes me super happy. It's just that like whenever I'm on streams with them, I don't feel like I contribute in a meaningful way. Like I don't stay on top of like movie and pop culture news as much as them. There are some things that like I do find a lot of interest in and I do keep tabs on, like with video game news, for example. But like a lot of the video game news that I really like is like related to retro gaming and like emulating retro gaming and some video game news as well, like what's going on with Blizzard and Streamlabs and OBS. Those things are super relevant to my interests for sure, so I can talk about them a little bit. And as far as like indie games that are coming out, things like that, I could talk on a little bit. But yeah, most of the topics that a lot of my friends really enjoy talking about, I just don't know that much about, unfortunately. And I feel bad when I take up space on a panel and I don't feel like I contribute that much. But yeah, so having like my own platform to just sort of like shoot the shit and just sort of like vibe with folks in the chat has been pretty helpful, just to kind of like have a way to, you know, decompress from the day. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and take another look at the chat. I think I finished this level. Okay, cool. Yeah, taking a look at the chat. Um, where did I leave off? Shri says, "Oh, I have a funny story about spam calls. So my friend just traveled here from India. He texted me from his Indian number and I asked him to call me. Then I get a number from a random number, so obviously I don't pick up. Then he texted me back and said, 'I called you, you didn't pick up.'" Oh, okay, that's a good example of like why you would probably want to pick up a no caller ID call. But for me, it was just super like intrusive and shitty, so it kind of effed up my day a bit. Let's see. Nate says, "Hope everyone is having a wonderful day." Shri, what's up? Says Nate. And then Austin says, "Hi, Rhea, love your honesty." Yeah, for sure, Austin. Like, it's definitely a vent sesh for sure. I'm just like lamenting getting older and having people from my past reach out to me who I really don't want to talk to. So yeah, it's kind of a vibe. Let's see. Everyone's greeting each other. Yay. And then Retro Complex. "Hey, Ken. Thanks for stopping by. Love to see you in the chat." Retro Complex says, "Lies. You are good in the stream. I was you where you were epic." Oh, okay. Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. Like, when there's an actual, like, when I can, like, plan out the talking points, I can be pretty, like, on point. But when I'm just, like, sort of ranting and riffing right now, I'm a little bit less, like, confident in my ability to communicate effectively because I didn't get the opportunity to kind of plan out responses ahead of time. Like when I do streams with Max and I have guests and we have a schedule and things like that I help curate, it is easier for me to kind of flow with that. Oh, excuse me. And yeah, so basically the whole like me getting older thing and just sort of like lamenting sort of the monotony of life and the inescapability, I guess, of, you know, aging. It just is just something that, you know, I just sort of, you know, in my idle moments when I don't have anything to distract me, I find my brain just sort of like wandering and thinking or into, you know, these like sort of deep doomy sort of thoughts. But yeah, it's I just gotta remind myself, you know, that it's like not like this feeling like doesn't have to like define my entire existence. Like it's okay to sort of like dwell on it a little bit because it does kind of suck that, you know, there's only so many like, you know, things in life that I'll be able to do or that I'll have the ability to see come to fruition in my lifetime, possibly. And not a whole lot of it I have control over. So those things like, you know, those thoughts come and go into my mind and I do lament them a little bit. But it's not like, you know, something that has to like color my entire, you know, existence and my entire daily, you know, like, you know, walk. I don't know. I keep trying to remind myself that. It's just hard to, you know, keep that in mind because it's like constantly there. It's constantly shadowing my existence a little bit. Like that lack of control, that lack of certainty, you know, that, you know, how that time escaping me type of feeling. But yeah. Okay, yeah, back to the chat. Daniel Martin says, "I'm not anti-holidays, but everyone gets so ramped up and reevaluates their life or has to make sure it's the best Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's ever. And I'm just like, meh." Oh, yeah, like, I mean, like, for me, I know that holidays are more about, you know, making a good experience for younger folks. Like, I can remember some great Christmases and Thanksgivings that my family really, you know, worked hard to make into good experiences for me. And I do believe that, you know, younger people deserve the same. So for me, I guess that's why I'm kind of jaded, because I understand it's sort of like a manufactured experience for younger people. Sort of like Disneyland, like it's a manufactured experience, but we all still sort of look forward to it. It's kind of an escape from reality in a way. Just like, kind of like playing video games is an escape from reality, or watching a good movie or TV show is an escape from reality. Um, cool. Let's see. Shri says, I can't speak for all of them, Rhea, but I think being there counts in itself. And Austin says, hey, just your presence is always welcome. Love seeing you branch out on other streams. Well, thank you, Austin. I appreciate it. Yeah, I always feel self-conscious about not, being prepared for a stream or not being able to contribute as much value as other folks. So, yeah, I appreciate those kind words. And Zodrider says, wait, sorry, where did Zod's... retro gaming is the best. It really is, Zod. And Austin says, absolutely, Shri. Retro Complex says, OBS and Streamlabs, sadly, OBS effed up by not trademarking the name. Oh, dude, yeah, there's like a bunch of stuff happening there. I'm streaming on OBS right now because it's letting me do all this custom stuff with my layout. But other than that, like, I do agree with you that, some of the, like, the signs of, competition potentially, impeding on their intellectual property should have been taken into account, and they should have, taken legal precautions to prevent that. So totally, I agree with you. Belle says, we love you, Rhea. Thank you, Belle. Shellin says, some streams it's hard to talk, especially when you have 2 or more people talking for an hour, cutting you off. Experience that too much. Well, I mean, I don't take it personal. Like, it's, especially when it's like a discussion that folks find super, like, sorry, I'm trying to, like, obscure the artifacts of my green screen. Yeah, like when folks get super, like, interested in the topic, I can see why, it kind of turns into more of a debate or an argument as opposed to a discussion. Daniel Martin says, it's definitely facts. You talking and decompressing helps us do the same. Your last stream is officially goated. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, so, like, I was trying to circle back with regards to sustaining healthy relationships with people when you're struggling with your own mental health journey. So we can definitely circle back to that. And then Retro Complex says, sorry for the bad grammar. Oh no, you're totally fine, my guy. I remember you brought up on one of your tweets a while ago that you were in a disagreement with someone, and they immediately, like, went after your how you speak, or how you wrote out your responses, like, because of, like, the grammar that you used. And I found that was totally not cool what happened to you. That was, like, people on the internet are a lot of people on the internet are very shitty, as you know. And yeah, I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. Just like prejudicial remarks towards folks who are not native English speakers is not cool at all. So again, I'm sorry that you had to experience that. Let's see. Shri says, oh, I told him he should give me the number first. I will not pick up a number I don't know. I save all the numbers of people I know for the rest. There's always voicemail. Oh, I agree. That's on me for picking up a phone number, or picking up on a call that did not have a phone number or caller ID associated with it. So lesson learned, not to do that again. I don't know what I was thinking. I was getting a few calls from utility companies because of some ongoing issues in my building and with my accounts that I had open with them. So I assumed, because sometimes supervisors for those utility companies will call you from unlisted numbers, so that way they can resolve your problem, but you can't call them back. Like, because obviously, like, if you had the supervisor's number, you would just call them directly instead of going through the phone queue. Like, I've worked in customer service enough to know why would you go through the customer service queue when you could just call straight to a manager and get your question responded to sooner? But yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. And then Luke says, hey everyone, welcome Luke. And then Belle says, rants from a streamer I watch regularly are the best, to be honest. Shri says, personally, I don't believe there's a list of shit to achieve before reaching a certain age. It's never too late to do anything. Sri, you're totally right, and honestly, your comments are always the best, so I'm going to pin your comment again, just like I did yesterday. Belle says, I'm going against Thanksgiving this year. We are going to smoke a brisket in a hole outside instead of making turkey. Girl, I feel it. Like, yeah, like, me and my sister, we're going to hang out for my birthday week. And then we're just going to, you know, hang out in SoCal for Thanksgiving and probably get some soul food or some bomb-ass Chinese food or something for Thanksgiving. Like, it's about us, you know, enjoying our relationship as sisters and connecting as adults, because as kids we didn't really get along that well, but as adults we are getting really reacquainted with one another, and it's been really great over the last few years. And yeah, we got Ye Old Nerdcast in the chat. Hey Devin, well, thank you for stopping by. Let's see, I think there's a few more chats I need to catch up on. Yeah, Belle says the holidays make some people crazy. Yeah, no, they exacerbate my anxiety, my depression. I just have a lot of like neurological like triggers that are rooted in trauma that unfortunately I experienced around family members, and the holidays tend to exacerbate those triggers because a lot of different personalities in one closed space are sort of interacting, and I'm forced to, you know, respond to all of them due to, you know, the proximity I am to them. And then social expectations of having to, you know, be polite and, you know, all that etiquette stuff. So yeah, it's very mentally overwhelming, I'm sure, as it is for everyone, I bet. And Daniel Martin says, preach it, Belle. Retro Complex says, yep, all the time. Belle says, smash that like button. Thank you, Belle. Retro says, that never fails. They have zero argument. They attack my grammar, but it's okay. I'm already used to it. No, dude. So, like, yeah, like, I mean, obviously, like, racism, xenophobia, prejudice on the internet, in the world, in, like, you know, even in our own, like, you know, day-to-day lives, like, it's not new, unfortunately, for a lot of us, so it just sucks, because, like, I expect it in my day-to-day life, but when I hear about other people experiencing it, it makes me super, like, fucking heated, because, like, I don't know. It's like, it's kind of a double standard I have with myself. It's like, I don't care if people treat me shitty, but like when you treat people I care about, I know and that I care about shitty, that's when I'm trying to, you know, like curb stomp some folks. Like, so yeah, like it's when other folks are forced to deal with that shittiness, that, you know, I get really pissed off. But yeah, it's unfortunately a reality that all of us have to deal with on the being on the internet and trying to promote our content and be part of a community that unfortunately includes shitty people. And then Daniel Martin says, spam calls to renew your auto warranty are definitely not it. Oh yeah, those fucking telemarketer calls. I had one today, like with my internet provider. They were like, oh yeah, do you want to upgrade like to business quality internet? And I'm literally the only one who uses the internet like that in our apartment, because like obviously I'm streaming and I'm doing all this extra stuff with like the streaming software that I use, and I need it for like other, like, you know, personal use as well. So the only one who would really benefit from business class internet would be me, but I have to split the cost with everyone else in the house who may not be willing to pay 2x more than what they already pay. That said, my internet right now, even though it's like consumer level quality, I guess, it's still like the highest tier, and I don't see any lag in any playbacks, which is really good. So yeah, just sort of wanted to kind of call that out. But if folks have business class internet and want to like sell me on it, definitely hit me up and talk me up about it, because it behooves the internet provider to sell me on it, but someone who actually has it and knows the difference between the two, I would love to hear their endorsement on it. Okay, cool. And let's see. Zod says, I'm having stuffed peppers for Thanksgiving. It's fun rebelling against the turkey traditions. I mean, turkey is really good, don't get me wrong, but yeah, like, I am not, going to lament not getting turkey this Thanksgiving. I mean, it would be cool to, like, when I have, like, my own, like, legit house to, like, have guests over and friends for Turkey Day and stuff, and just like cook for folks, because I love cooking for other people. But if not, like just celebrating, being around family and just like enjoying each other's time in like a mentally like fulfilling space and not an exhausting one is probably the biggest goal right now. And then let's see. Retro Complex says, "What do you have as an internet provider?" Oh, I have Comcast, Xfinity. So yeah, they are my internet provider currently. And I have this cool stream box that they gave me. That I have a free subscription to Peacock, the CBS, I think, streaming service. I don't really use it too much. I have a lot of streaming services that I don't use a whole lot, actually, because I just watch YouTube on loop. Like, I didn't see anyone streaming around this time, so I figured, hey, I might as well take up this valuable time spot or time slot. And then Retro Complex says, oof, Comcrap. I mean, they're down the street from me, so they've been pretty good about coming on site to help install the like the modem and troubleshoot and things like that. But for folks who are probably out in the boonies, like they're probably screwed. I don't know, but yeah, so far they've been all right. Jesse Allen says, I have not played Purple Boy in forever. Oh, it's pretty fun. I'm just trying to finish up the first game, because Pokemon Shining Pearl comes out tomorrow, so I'm going to pick that up and start playing that tomorrow. But then I'm going to be offline for the week because I'll be visiting my sister. So yeah, I'm going to try and get some hours into Pokemon for y'all tomorrow. And yeah, just call it a day for the holiday weekend. Or like the holiday week, actually. And yeah, we got Garguts in the chat. Hey Garguts, thanks for stopping by. And let's see. Yeah, so like back to yesterday's topic, since folks were vibing on that. Like maintaining healthy relationships with people when I am struggling with my own mental health. So yeah, like, the too long didn't read version of yesterday's stream was, it is hard. It does require a lot of work. It requires a lot of mindfulness on my end to know that I have limits, and I have like emotional bandwidth that gets exhausted very easily, and that I need to communicate it to people around me in order to keep them aware of the issues that I'm trying to work through. So all that to say, like where we left off yesterday was more just like, we didn't really leave off with like solutions or some strategies about how best to communicate with friends and family. We just sort of acknowledged, like, yeah, it is difficult to even have that conversation to begin with. But yeah, like we can kind of like talk about some strategies about how to best communicate with friends and family, especially like during the holidays. Like I was saying, there are like some etiquette stuff. Like there are some perceived, expectations, I guess is a better word, for etiquette around, family members during the holiday. And for me, I tend to put etiquette above, my mental health, just for the sake of like maintaining appearances and, maintaining like face for the social norm, I guess. I guess just trying to like live up to those standards of the social norm or the status quo. In doing so, it's just sort of me trying to get through the day and get through to, the next, social challenge, I guess, of, having to interact with people and just sort of like pretend I enjoy being around them, basically. But yeah, like, so let's say like you want to be more authentic and more open with, your family members about the struggles that you're going through mentally. One of the things that I've found has worked with, like my sister, my grandma, my aunt, folks that like have known me my entire life, but still have this perception of me being like this young, sort of like naive homebody who was very sheltered and doesn't really hasn't really experienced life. Like that's like the perception that they have of me, even though like I've moved out like over 10 years ago and have been living on my own and graduated college and have been working and providing for myself that whole time. Like they still have that like perception of me being this like naive, helpless person. So to try and like kind of like counter that narrative that they have in their head of me, I've been trying, like, some trial and error has been me just, I have blown up on them and like argued with them over petty stuff because of my how challenging it is to like control my emotions when I disagree ideologically with someone, or if someone is makes assumptions about me and then shares misinformation about me that I then find out about later, for example. So folks like, making assumptions about me and then sharing that information with others can definitely be one of my like trigger points where I, immediately like blow up on them. And instead of communicating with them about, clearing up any misconceptions they had about me, like whether it be like, my eating habits or, what I do for work or, my personal life, just perpetuating, false narratives about me based off of, some obscured, like, sort of like, non-direct response I gave them a while ago because of my, lack of transparency with them. They kind of run with an assumption of what they think I actually meant to say to them, and they then sort of like spread that misinformation around to other family members, and then this whole sort of like false narrative, gossipy sort of vibe happens where I don't feel comfortable or I feel judged around everyone because there's this preconception, or this misconception, I should say, around my personal life, for example, that some family members just sort of decided to spread misinformation about. So when I have to kind of like damage control that with family members, I'm trying to think, how did I realistically solve that problem? I had a one-on-one conversation, like, with my grandma and my aunt, for example, about, hey, like, this information, this, like, thing that you told so-and-so about, like, isn't actually true. Like, that's not what I do for a living, or that's not, what happened with this person that you remember seeing me with, or, yeah, like, because of the lack of transparency I had with like my family, they just sort of like take those limited, instances of seeing me and interacting with other people and talking around them, and then just sort of like spin their own narrative based off of that limited data set. So when I see that happen, and I am obviously like very furious, but I'm trying to sort of salvage that relationship with that person. Yeah, like I said, I like confront them and let them know, hey, like this isn't what you think it is, and I'm trying to let you know because I do see that you care. So and me saying that, it like on paper it's a lot easier to say that like than it is in real life, because there's this like weird tension, sort of like fear, or not fear, just like stigma, to like be that blatantly transparent with family members out of fear of being judged or rejected, or just being disrespected or not heard, because like my family has this like very like inaccurate perception of me as a person, that I feel like that is holding them back from really hearing what I'm trying to say. But that's also me making a misconception, or making a preconception about their ability to understand what I would be telling them myself. So it's just sort of like two different layers of folks like potentially not listening to each other due to already existing beliefs. So yeah, well, on that note, let me just go ahead and check in on the chat. Daniel Martin says, I'm celebrating Festivus this year. Seinfeld got it right. Then Jesse Allen says, I have not... Oh, yeah, I read that. You have not played Purple Boy in forever. Mo Moon is in the house. Hey, Mo Moon. Hello there. I got lost on my way to $3 cinema. Yeah, I'm excited to catch Matt's streams later on tonight, hopefully. I hope he does do a stream. And then Nate's greeting everyone. So is Garguts. And then Zodrider says, business class is nice, but it's not great enough to justify the extra cost. Now, if they give you a deal that's cheaper than what you're already paying, it's worth it. Yeah, no, it was going to be twice as expensive. And I did an internet test. I forget how many megabytes my upload speed was, but it was pretty solid for streaming anyway. But yeah, and let's see. Everyone's greeting each other. Nice, nice, nice. Momoon says, who else cries themselves to sleep? Just me? Okay, love y'all. I know, I feel it, bro. I feel it. And then Movie Madness and Entertainment, Max is here. Hey, Rhea. Hey, everyone. I hope you have a nice stream. Thank you, Max. And then Daniel Martin says, I'm thankful I don't have a lot of extended family members nearby for those reasons you stated. Kind of the gossipy in your business interactions. Oh, yeah, for sure. That's kind of what I grew up with. And as much as I love my family, it's hard to communicate with them in a way that I feel like what I'm saying actually is getting through to them and changing their perspective a bit. So yeah, there's that. And then Zod says, have a great remainder of your stream, Ray. I have to go because I have a scheduled stream to do. You are awesome. Much love to you. Thank you, Zod, for coming by. I really appreciate all your support. But yeah, okay, cool. So like I said, I do want to finish up the game for y'all, at least like the first Spyro game. So we're almost there. We just defeated Nasty Nork, and now we're going to finish the last level that is basically a treasure gathering level where I fly around and collect the last remaining bits of the treasure in the game. But yeah, going back to some strategies about navigating difficult family discussions. So yeah, like when I have family members that are just all up in my business, want to know, who I might be, spending time with, or who I might, like be friends with, or, you know, who I'm talking to, like relationship type of questions, like I tend to do like a hard like left as far as like changing the subject. Um, like I did introduce one person to them in the past like year, and that was the first time I actually brought someone over, but it wasn't under the context of me like seeing them exclusively or seriously. It was just like, oh yeah, this is my friend, and he was like really cordial and nice or whatever. I'm not talking to him anymore, but like, yeah, that's just kind of like one thing that I did. And it wasn't even like because I wanted to do it, it's because he asked to meet my family. So I was just like, okay. But yeah, I'm not really like that type of person. I'm not really like a family type of person, actually, like at all. Like when I hang out with someone, it's because I want to hang out with that person, not their family. Sorry, just to kind of like, you know, clear, like, if anyone was curious. But yeah, like questions like that, it's just sort of like it's even more awkward when I see like other folks like especially like my cousins who are around the same age as me have like their significant others around, and like talking about like, oh, their futures, and you know, like living together and have starting a family and stuff, and I'm just like, and I'm talking about like, oh, I want to go on a trip to South Korea. Oh, I want to go on a solo trip to like Vietnam, and like, oh, I just started streaming. I got this new PC. I'm talking about all this like cool stuff that's like relevant to my interests that have nothing to do with like, you like any type of, you know, partner or like life partner or family type of vibe. Like I'm just sort of an e-thought, like thinking of what I'm gonna do like on my next like, you know, hot girl summer adventure. So there's that. So it is kind of like this I don't want to say cognitive dissonance where like, oh, outside is different from what you feel inside, because like outside I'm doing my best to live authentically to what I enjoy doing, which is being true to, you know, what I want in the inside. It's just that like it's weird when like I kind of feel judged by my family for doing what I want to do instead of, you know, doing what everyone else is doing. Like, especially because I'm also sort of like an introvert and I don't really talk about, you know, my personal life with them unless I'm like, you know, kind of cornered. So all that to say that like sometimes like these social etiquette things around the holidays where you're kind of forced to talk about topics that are not, you know, relevant to your interests or like are not comfortable for you to really like discuss in mixed company. It's just a shitty situation to be in, and like I still sort of struggle with, you know, navigating those conversations too. Yeah, like with my like family members who are closer in age to me, I find it a little bit easier to set those, you know, boundaries with them about, hey, look, you know, I'm just, you know, out here, like, you know, being a hoe. It, like, I'm not really trying to have a family. And then some of them really do get it. They're just like, yeah, no, that's totally fine. And then other, like, older family members are just like, oh, well, you know, like, you're gonna want to, you know, have kids one day. Or you're gonna want to, you know, have a relationship one day. And I'm just like, really? No, I don't know about that. Yeah, like, it's kind of like this old head sort of mentality, thinking that you know what's best for everyone. Like, it's really annoying. So, I mean, if it's sustainable for your mental health to just sort of smile and nod until, like, you can get away from that person, that's great. And then just sort of hang out with your cool cousins who totally respect your lifestyle decisions. That's great, too. Let's see. But if you actually do want to try and like communicate boundaries with people that you don't agree with, or that, have an opinion about your lifestyle that's like totally unwarranted, you could probably have that discussion with them depending on how like open-minded they are. I know that like some family members may not, be as easy to talk to about, having a different type of lifestyle than just like, the married with kids, expectation that a lot of folks my age tend to, go for. It can be kind of fruitless to waste energy, like not waste, but, to expend energy and mental resources on those types of discussions, because it's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to convince grandma that being polyamorous and pansexual is totally a valid lifestyle. Like, sometimes, we got to just let grandma, like, have that belief that you're going to get married and have kids one day. Like, and then you can just go and be a hoe once you leave her house. Like, sometimes that's the most sustainable choice. But, like, let's say, like, maybe you do have that type of communication with trust, like, because it is about trust, like, if you trust that, like, either your grandma or your aunt would be respectful of your decisions to live your life differently than what other folks in your family are choosing to do. You kind of have to, like, see other examples of them being respectful of different lifestyle choices. If you have reason to believe that they're just super conservative and just, not willing to budge on those values, then it's, you may just be better off protecting yourself from that discussion because, I say protecting yourself because it can be emotionally taxing to try and, like, convince someone that your decisions are the best ones for you. So yeah, I'm basically trying to say, like, if you feel like you can trust that person in your family to respect your decisions and you being transparent with them, or you having the emotional vulnerability to let them into, your life at that level, to disclose that information with them about either your sexuality or your relationship, lifestyle decisions, then yeah, go for it. It may be a little bit easier for younger-ish family members to get behind than it is like what older folks, but you never know, like maybe older folks can empathize with you being open about your lifestyle decisions, and then them sort of being proud of you because that was like not an option for them growing up. I don't know. Maybe they can, like, be proud of you because they can, like, kind of sort of live vicariously through you. Cool. I think we just finished that level. Let me go ahead and check in on the chat. Okay, cool. Jesse says, I will drop by soon, Zod. All right, Jesse, have fun at Zod's stream. H-Bart says, hey, Rhea, Defoe, be back. No way home. Oh, man, I hope so. We're going to spam Max's chat with the Defoe-Gs for sure. Gargut says, yeah, I'll be doing something tonight. You're more than welcome to come on the panel anytime. Oh, yeah, thanks, Garguts. I have to come visit you again. I have to get on cam for sure. And then Mr. 804, we got Jay in the house. Rayanator, thank you so much for stopping by, Mr. 804J. Daniel Martin says, the dreaded, so when are you getting married questions from aunts and uncles. Yeah, no, screw that. The memes of destruction, Mr. Memes in the house. Great stream earlier. I caught some of it at my doctor's appointment. And he's just greeting everyone in the chat. Awesome. H-Bart says, I started talking to this girl at work, hoping I can ask her out after some time. Oh yeah, H-Bart, she just gotta, talk her up, get that Defoe swag out and just, let it rip. I hope it works out. Like, keep us posted. And I did see Elmo in the chat the other day. Like, I was hoping to get him to agree to come back to Max's streams and Matt's streams, but he kind of came and went in the chat. So there's that. Um, cool. So yeah, let me go ahead and refresh the page really quick. Okay, so I started streaming an hour ago, and we still have some time, I think. Let me see. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it time because I did want to finish the game for y'all, which I did. And then just to recap, tomorrow we are going to be playing, or I'm going to be playing Pokemon Shining Pearl. So I need to go pick that up. I would have done a midnight stream for y'all, but I want the physical edition because obviously. And once I get that and finish up work, I'm going to be playing for a few hours, and then I'm going to be offline for the week because I'm going to be visiting my sister in SoCal. But I'll be online and saying hi to folks on streams and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to just, spending the last day of the week, getting a nice 4 to 6 hours in on Pokemon Pearl, and just chatting it up with y'all. And the last note from Mo, where are my twin kits? Mo, those kits are mine. I already got my cat ears because I've already assimilated them into my family. So now they think I'm their mom because I'm wearing the cat ears. So yeah, they completely forgot about you, Mo. I'm sorry. You're never seeing those cats again. Just saying. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and play the outro. But it's been real, y'all. Thanks so much for coming by and just listening to me vent about the week and getting old, and some strategies about handling difficult family conversations during the holidays. If nothing else, it's just been helpful for me to kind of sound out some strategies that I've used in the past that I just have to remind myself exist. Let's see. Daniel Martin says, howdy, Mr. Memes of Destruction. Mo says, then no more carne asada for you. And then Daniel Martin says, fire emojis, go. And Caden says, see you later, Reyes. Thank you so much for stopping by, Caden. Gargut says, hell yeah, Reyes rents are chill. Let me go ahead and mod my boy Garguts. And yeah, alright, I will catch y'all on the streams on everyone else's channels. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, take care. Bye.
As usual, you made it different.